All right, we're working on the Should I Buy New Equipment project. And first thing you want to do is to download the Excel file, which you probably have. And then we can get started. Okay, so you type your name into the first box there. We're going to cover simple interests and margins and profitability. After viewing this video, you should be able to understand and calculate a net profit margin, calculate simple interest on a one-year loan, and calculate a simple break-even period for a capital purchase. So let's get started. The engraving department uses an aging rotary engraver to engrave plaques and trophies. The machine has been reliable but does require regular maintenance and periodic replacement of parts. Charlie has just found out that his engraver will no longer be supported by the manufacturer. This means that service and parts will be hard to get in the future, and if it breaks, could take up to 3 weeks to get a new one up and running. They keep this machine running almost 8 hours a day, every day. Every day that the engraver is down costs around $975 in lost income. If he has to buy a new engraver, it would cost around $25,000. He can get a one-year loan at 12% to buy a new engraver, but he worries that this is awful lot of money to spend, especially since the old engraver is still working. He has to make a decision. Should he purchase a new engraver now or wait until the old engraver breaks before buying the new engraver? Okay. So, the first thing you want to do is to watch the video, which if you click on the video, some people aren't able to watch the videos here at school, so you might have to watch it at home. The new engraver costs $25,000. We have a one-year loan for 12%. You give $975 per day revenue from the engraver, 25% profit margin, and then if it breaks down, you lose 18 days. Okay. The local bank will loan Charlie $25,000 for 1 year at 12% with only one payment due at the end of the year. If Charlie borrows the full $25,000 for the new engraver, what will be the total cost of the loan? The first thing we need to do is to calculate the interest. Interest is principal, which is $25,000, and the rate is 12%, which you have to type as 0.12, time is 1 year. And so the interest, and I'm going to use the formula, equals this amount times this amount times this amount, and you get $3,000. So the principal is right up here. The interest is right over here. So the maturity value is the principal plus the interest. So we're going to make that this value plus this value. And you can see he's going to pay back $28,000. Okay, next. If the calculate the total amount of revenue, gross profit that will be lost if the engraver breaks down. Well, it's $975 a day, and then if it breaks down, it's 18 days. So how much is lost? It's going to be the $975 times the 18 days, for a total of $17,550 that would be lost. Now, it also says that if the engraver business makes $975 a day in revenue and generates a net profit of 25%, how much profit is generated per day? Well, you still have the $975, okay, and then the profit margin is 25%, which you would type as 0.25. So the profit per day, profit, times the profit margin, you get $243.75. What is the net profit lost if the engraver is out of commission for the full 18 days? Well, you have the profit per day, which is right up here, and then it's 18 days, and then the total lost profit will be this amount, times 18 days, $4,387.50. Now, if it's kept busy $269 days a year, in a year, well, it's got the $975 per day, and then 269 days. The gross profit per year will be the amount per day times the number of days, and it's going to generate $262,275 a day. So it seems like that engraver is a minor expense. In fact, let's figure out if the engraver is kept busy the full 269 days, the net profit generated. Well, you've got the gross profit, which is that $262,275, times the 0.25, oops. So the net profit will be the gross profit times the profit margin, and that's $65,000 a year, $65,568.75 a year. So if you have a 25% profit margin and $975 per day in revenue, how many days would it take to pay back the new engraver for the total cost? Now remember that the total cost is that amount that we had to pay back on the loan. So that's this amount right up here. Okay, so let's type the 28,000. That's the profit margin. And then the profit per day was right up here, $243.75 per day. The net profit is going to be this value divided by this value. But when you do, you notice that you don't get exactly 200 let's see how many days this actually, I have it formatted to come out with no decimal places, but let's use decimal places. If you notice, it comes out to 114.87 days. So really what we need to do is to round that value. And the way you round a value in Excel is you use the ceiling function. So let's go up here to the f of x and let's do the ceiling. So it gives you the ceiling, and what the ceiling is it rounds a number up to the nearest multiple of significance. And that's what you need here, because we need to cover the whole 28,000, not a little bit less than that. So we're going to always round up on this one, and that's why we're going to use the ceiling function. And the ceiling function is going to be of that same division, okay? But we're going to round to the nearest day, so we'll say 1, and if you notice, it comes out to be 115. And when we enter that, then we get the 115 days. And if you notice, you now have all of the points necessary, so you are ready to submit it in the Excel projects section, and you can do that now. And so that's the end of this assignment, and you can get started. Bye now.